controlled nearly 90% of America's oil. The government broke his empire apart, and somehow he became even richer. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller, a man who rose from nothing to become America's first billionaire. His journey is filled with suspense, ambition, and controversy. Today we dive into the financial thriller of Rockefeller's life, tracing his path from poverty to power. Get ready for a cinematic ride through the world of oil, money, and ruthless competition. Let's begin where it all started, in a small, struggling family. John D. Rockefeller was born into hardship. His father was a traveling salesman, often absent, leaving the family to fend for themselves. Young John learned the value of every penny. He became obsessed with bookkeeping, tracking every cent, every transaction. Discipline was his shield against poverty. He watched his mother stretch their meager resources, and he vowed to never be powerless. The world seemed unforgiving, but Rockefeller's resolve was ironclad. He believed that careful calculation could change his fate. This obsession would become the foundation of his empire. 1859, Pennsylvania struck oil. Suddenly, fortunes were made overnight, but Rockefeller saw something others missed. The real opportunity wasn't drilling, it was refining. Crude oil was messy, unpredictable. Refined oil was valuable, essential. While others chased wells, Rockefeller focused on turning raw oil into kerosene and other products. He studied the numbers, calculated risks, and built his first refinery. The oil boom was chaotic, but Rockefeller's vision was clear. He would master the art of refining, not just the luck of drilling. Rockefeller didn't just refine oil, he wanted control, total control. He built Standard Oil, a company that didn't just process oil but owned the barrels, pipelines, storage tanks, and even the railroads that transported it. This was vertical integration, owning every step from raw material to finished product. Competitors couldn't match his efficiency. Standard Oil squeezed costs, maximized profits, and grew unstoppable. Rockefeller's empire was built on precision, discipline, and relentless ambition. Every detail mattered, every dollar counted. To move his oil, Rockefeller needed the railroads. He struck secret deals, negotiating lower rates and rebates. These arrangements gave Standard Oil a huge advantage. Competitors struggled to keep up. Some called it ruthless, others called it genius. Rockefeller's tactics were aggressive. He would buy out rivals, undercut prices, and force others out of business. The railroads became his silent partners, fueling Standard Oil's dominance. The industry was changing, and Rockefeller was always one step ahead. Standard Oil grew fast. Rockefeller bought out competitors, sometimes with threats, sometimes with offers too good to refuse. He used every tool, money, influence, and strategy. Factories, pipelines, storage tanks, and railroads all fell under his control. The oil industry became a battlefield, and Rockefeller was the general. His methods were controversial but effective. Standard Oil's reach expanded across America. The company became a giant, casting a shadow over every rival. By the late 1800s, Standard Oil controlled nearly 90% of America's oil refining. The company was everywhere: barrels, trains, factories, and ledgers. Rockefeller's discipline and obsession with efficiency paid off. Standard Oil became the most powerful corporation in the country. Its influence stretched from coast to coast. The public marveled at its size, but many feared its power. Rockefeller was no longer just a businessman, he was an empire builder. Standard Oil grew, so did public suspicion. People wondered, how could one man control so much? Journalists began to investigate. Tarbell, whose father lost his business to Standard Oil, launched a crusade. She published a series of articles exposing Rockefeller's tactics. The public was shocked. Tarbell's words painted Rockefeller as a ruthless monopolist. The debate exploded: was he a genius or a villain? The pressure mounted, and the government took notice. In 1911, the Supreme Court delivered its verdict. Standard Oil was declared a monopoly and ordered to break apart. 34 new companies were born from its ashes. The courtroom drama was intense. Rockefeller watched as his empire shattered. But the story didn't end there. The government hoped to weaken him, but fate had other plans. The oil king's fortune was about to take a surprising turn. Rockefeller didn't lose everything. He retained shares in the new companies Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and more. As these companies grew, so did his wealth. The breakup made him richer than ever. It was a twist no one saw coming. The oil king's fortune multiplied, and his influence remained. Rockefeller had turned defeat into victory. The world watched in awe. His story was far from over. With his fortune secure, Rockefeller changed course. He became a philanthropist, giving away millions to education, medicine, and scientific research. He founded universities, supported hospitals, and funded breakthroughs. The oil king's legacy shifted from business to charity. Rockefeller believed wealth should serve society. His generosity transformed lives, but critics wondered if it was redemption or strategy. The debate continued. Rockefeller's donations built schools and universities. He believed education was the key to progress. The University of Chicago, Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, and many others flourished thanks to his support. Students and scientists benefited from his vision. Rockefeller's name became synonymous with learning and discovery. His impact reached far beyond oil. The world changed, and Rockefeller's influence grew. Rockefeller's philanthropy fueled medical progress. He funded hospitals, research centers, and public health initiatives. The Rockefeller Foundation tackled diseases, supported doctors, and advanced science. His money saved lives, but the debate lingered. Was this generosity or an attempt to rewrite history? Rockefeller's legacy grew more complex. The oil king was now a champion of health. Rockefeller's support for scientific research changed the world. He funded laboratories, scholarships, and discoveries. The Rockefeller Institute became a hub for innovation. Scientists pushed boundaries, exploring new frontiers. Rockefeller's money fueled progress, but his reputation remained controversial. Was he a visionary or a monopolist seeking redemption? The question echoed through history. Rockefeller's fortune was legendary. He became America's first billionaire. His wealth shaped industries, cities, and lives. The oil king's influence stretched across generations. His name was etched in history, but his legacy was debated. Was Rockefeller a hero or a villain? The world struggled to decide. His story was a financial thriller filled with twists and turns. Rockefeller's power sparked fierce debate. Was he a brilliant businessman who revolutionized industry or a monopolist who crushed competition? His methods were bold, his ambition relentless. Critics accused him of greed and manipulation. Supporters praised his vision and discipline. The debate raged in newspapers, courtrooms, and public opinion. Rockefeller's legacy was a puzzle, complex, controversial, and unforgettable. Throughout Rockefeller's story, certain images repeat: oil barrels, railroads, factories, ledgers, money, newspapers, courtrooms, and Standard Oil breaking apart. These visuals symbolize his journey: growth, power, controversy, and transformation. Each represents a chapter in his life, a moment of suspense or triumph. The oil king's world was built on these foundations. They remind us of the stakes, the drama, and the impact of his empire. Rockefeller's life was filled with suspense. Every chapter ended with a cliffhanger. Would he survive the oil boom? Could he outsmart rivals? Would the government destroy his empire? Each twist kept the world guessing. Rockefeller thrived on uncertainty, turning challenges into opportunities. His story is a financial thriller, not just a history lesson. The drama never stopped. Behind the numbers and deals, Rockefeller's journey was emotional. He faced poverty, risk, and public outrage. He watched his empire rise and fall. He struggled with criticism and praise. The oil king's life was more than business. It was a story of ambition, resilience, and transformation. Every victory came with a price. Every defeat brought new challenges. Rockefeller's story is full of surprises. He started with nothing but became the richest man in America. The breakup of Standard Oil made him wealthier. He gave away more than half his fortune. His name is linked to both ruthless business and generous charity. The oil king's life defied expectations. Every fact reveals a new layer of complexity. Rockefeller's journey leaves us with questions. How did he turn defeat into victory? Why did the breakup of Standard Oil make him richer? What drove his obsession with discipline and efficiency? The answers are hidden in the details. Rockefeller's story is a puzzle filled with curiosity gaps. Each chapter invites us to dig deeper to uncover the truth behind the legend. Discipline was Rockefeller's secret weapon. He tracked every penny, planned every move, and demanded precision. His obsession with bookkeeping shaped his empire. Rockefeller believed that discipline could overcome any obstacle. He applied it to business, philanthropy, and life. The oil king's methods were strict but effective. Discipline turned poverty into power. Rockefeller's obsession with efficiency drove Standard Oil's success. He cut costs, streamlined operations, and eliminated waste. Every detail mattered. Rockefeller believed that efficiency was the key to dominance. His methods set new standards for industry. The oil king's empire was built on precision and discipline. Efficiency became his trademark. Rockefeller's tactics were aggressive. He bought out rivals, negotiated secret deals, and used every advantage. Critics called him ruthless. Supporters called him strategic. The oil king's methods sparked controversy but delivered results. Standard Oil crushed competition and dominated the market. Rockefeller's tactics changed the industry forever. Standard Oil's power was unmatched. The company controlled refineries, pipelines, railroads, and storage. Rockefeller's empire shaped the industry. The oil king's influence reached every corner of America. Standard Oil became a symbol of power and controversy. Its dominance sparked debate and inspired change. The breakup of Standard Oil was dramatic. The government hoped to end Rockefeller's dominance. 34 new companies emerged. The oil king's empire was shattered, but his fortune grew. The breakup changed the industry, but not Rockefeller's legacy. He remained a central figure shaping the future of oil and business. Rockefeller transformed from oil king to philanthropist. He gave away millions, supporting education, medicine, and science. His generosity changed lives and shaped society. The oil king's legacy evolved, but debate continued. Was this redemption or strategy? Rockefeller's transformation was as dramatic as his rise. Rockefeller's impact endures. His methods shaped modern business. His philanthropy changed education and medicine. The oil king's story is a financial thriller filled with suspense, drama, and transformation. Rockefeller remains a central figure in American history. His legacy is debated, but his influence is undeniable. As the story ends, one question remains: was Rockefeller a visionary businessman or the greatest monopolist in American history? His journey is filled with suspense, ambition, and controversy. The oil king's legacy is debated, but his impact is clear. The answer is up to you. The financial thriller of Rockefeller's life continues to inspire and provoke. Rockefeller's story doesn't end here. His influence lives on in the companies, charities, and industries he shaped. The debate over his legacy continues. Was he a hero, a villain, or something in between? The oil king's journey is a financial thriller filled with suspense, drama, and transformation. The question lingers: what would you call Rockefeller? The answer is yours to decide.